Hello and welcome back. It is time once again to fix something. Today on my workbench I have another PS5 Fat Edition, and I don't think this one is totally dead. I think it does make some noises. It does have a little, I noticed the USB port in the front there is messed up, but anyway, I'm not sure if that's the worst of the problems. So I'm going to give it some power. We're going to see if that power supply at least starts up over here. Yeah, I saw a little dip. I think the power supply is starting up. See if she beeps. We do beep every time I press the button. Eject does not beep, which is odd. No light though. No light at all. And the eject does not beep, which makes me think the Blu-ray drive is disconnected in there or something. It should try to beep when you hit eject. But who knows what's going on in there. It's probably been opened up before. I haven't looked yet. I just have a feeling it's somebody's been into it. Just a feeling. Let's get the cover off and let's see if that's true or not. Yes, indeed. It has been opened up before. You can see the security tape is missing. We're also missing several screws. I've looked down in here. We're missing several screws back in there. So yeah, somebody's been way into it. That's not surprising. Let me get the covers off. Well, I do have the board out now, and just looking around, it is an EDM 020, so one of the early ones. The only signs of work I'm seeing is around the HDMI port. I think the port has been changed. You can see some residue where they, I don't know, maybe use some alcohol to clean around that. I don't know. But that's the only signs of work I've seen so far. But I want to give it 12 volts and see what kind of current draw we get. That kind of tells me a lot sometimes. So got my polarity connected properly. I'm going to give it 12 volts at the limit of half an amp and see what kind of current draw we get. Up to 30 milliamps, 31 milliamps, and back down. That was sad looking. Huh. So the Southbridge tries to do something, but 30 milliamps. It looks like the Southbridge is waking up, trying to do something. I'm wondering. SSD maybe? I don't know. I'm guessing there. It does beep. A bad HDMI encoder will give you a beep, but nothing else happens. You know, this chip. I don't know if that could be the problem. But I was thinking SSD because, or something SSD related because the current draw is so low. Like when that SSD wakes up, you know, the current goes up into the, 200, 300 milliamps. This chip. So, I don't know. Let's see if we can figure out what it is. Okay. Well, I did a few quick checks, and I think our initial guess was right. I think we have a SSD problem. I'm still giving 12 volts to the board here, you can see. And on F7502, which is what feeds the power supply for the SSD controller and SSD chips, we have 5 volts on this side, the source side, and on the other side we have nothing. So I'm going to guess we have a short there. Let me turn off my bench power supply. Let's go to resistance mode. See if we have a short. Oh yeah, 0.18 ohms. So we have a, hopefully just a bad capacitor. Might take a look under the microscope. Let's take a look under the microscope and see if any of these look really, really obviously bad. If we're lucky. All right. Is this what they call an easy pizza? Take a look at that capacitor. Kind of has a crack in it, doesn't it? So, and that is a, the original capacitors are 22 at 6.3. I've got some 22s at 10 volts I'm going to put in there. So we'll get that replaced. And then we will replace this fuse, which is a 5 amp fuse, F7502. And I think that'll fix the main board. We still need to fix that front USB port that's busted. But yeah, I think that'll get this one back going again. Let's do it. All right, so one capacitor replaced, F7502 replaced. Let's give it 12 volts once again and see if that current draw looks a little bit better. Yeah, there we go, 300 milliamps and come back down. Perfect. Perfect. All right, I think our board is fixed. We can put it back in the chassis and just make sure. I need to clean up this liquid metal a little bit. If you can see, it's a little bit out of place. Nice dry spot. So, but we still got to fix that front USB port. So let's make sure the board works, though. Let's make sure that works first. I'll slip it back in the chassis, and we'll see if we can get a picture out of it. Well, when I turn the monitor on, it automatically fired up. So, yeah, she's going to come on. I didn't get a chance to press the power button or start recording. It just, yeah, It's got that setting set where when the monitor comes on, it wakes up automatically. It did a storage check. But yeah, she's coming back to life. As soon as it gets through with this reboot. I do have the front ribbon cable disconnected just in case some of those pins are shorted. Yeah, she's coming back on. All right. Good deal. All right, then I think our main board is good. We just need to fix this front USB port. And for those of you who are wondering, there's a software version. Not bad. All right, this port is busted up pretty good. I do have a new one here. Should go right in place. I have used low melt solder on this before, but let me just see if we can do it with just adding some regular solder. I'll put it in the vise here. Maybe we'll add some flux and regular solder to this and see if we can take it out with some hot air. Always one. There's always one. Doesn't want to cooperate. Might get it from the other side. In this case, there's three that want to cooperate. Let me flip it over. Well, this PS5 is fully reassembled. Replacing that capacitor and fuse, got the main board working. Replacing the port, fixed that issue. It is charging. And I went into safe mode, made sure the serial part of it works. So it worked in safe mode, which means the serial data part's working. And then we know the charging port's working because it was it was charging the controller. So the port is good. I'm installing a game. Looks good so far. Yeah, I think this one will survive just fine. So anyway, I hope you liked that one. Thought it was somewhat interesting, educational, entertaining, any of the above. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And I'll see you in that very next repair. Bye for now.